episode 307.
Will and Trent.
Yeah.
You guys are missing quite the show that I'm getting, because I've literally been watching Trent just pantomime the entire opening song. So that was beautiful. And by the way, even though this is the annual get together of the Nog-A-Thon, as it were, which we were just discussing, we don't even know how many of these we've done.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have no idea.
More than five, less than 10.
Well, there was one way. By the way, hi everybody. My name is Will.
I'm Trent.
If you want to take part in the program, you can. One of them is Twitter. Trent, tell them about it.
Oh, dude, you just be like the unofficial and never officially recognized pseudo faux producer of the program, Matthew Corey, of our good friend Color, PJ. Midnight Smokes 1. All these folks are chatting away using the hashtag NetHeads.
That may or may not be a compilation of days worth of tweets, but yes.
No, dude, it's like all within the past 10 minutes.
I know, I'm just having fun, just being kooky, Trent, because it's the kooky show of the year. We call it. I don't know why we call it a Nog-A-Thon, but it's called the Nog-A-Thon, and I've got the Clark Griswold, eggnog filled moose head, and
you're doing the nog.
Yes, I am nogging it, but you, however, no, you can't do the dairy.
Can't dairy and liquor. I don't know if I've told you why before.
I don't think. I think at the point where we're already discussing dairy and liquor, I only know where that road can go. So
bad. It was a Big Lebowski party, and we rented out an entire theater.
Yes, I've heard the story.
It's the drunkest I've ever been. I ended up puking on some gaming tables and tried to walk home at one point. Got in a fight with a woman. I was told. I woke up next to Sherman outside in my backyard.
My wonderful co-host for almost a decade, folks.
Yeah.
But that does take me, unfortunately, to the next step, Trent, because if I were to try and to categorize the Nog-A-Thons of past, it would almost be by what I refer to as the Hunsaker incident factor.
Oh, it gets out of control really quick. And I was smart this time, though. I only prepared one drink and brought it into my office.
Well,
in the years that I've gotten in trouble is when I have a bottle sitting next to me. That 2 years ago was I know I didn't remember signing off.
Okay.
Maybe
well, for you, that's because for you, Trent, the show just kept on going.
Yeah, apparently I tried to use Periscope for the very first time.
Oh, that what fun. What joy.
I deleted it the next morning.
Very good. Well, that's nice. That's wholesome. So yeah. That's because I think it was during the first Nog-A-Thon there was the When a Stranger Calls, which was the late night guest outside, we'll just say.
Oh, I think that was probably our first one.
Yes, I believe so. And
2012 probably then.
Okay, and then the following year, I believe, may have been the taco incident.
Oh man, that was bad. That was so bad.
Now, I know in my trying to find something to attach to the tweet to do this to make it more interesting. I did actually land on the NetHeads on Air account tweeted out a link to, I believe, the taco microwave incident, which is just to say there is, folks, a threshold that you can push carbon materials beyond in a microwave, surprisingly.
Yep.
And so one of the other things I was looking for was also there was the year where you created a helmet from your popcorn container, which was a...
I think it was a Miller Lite box.
something along those lines. Might have been Budweiser. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you don't need a bowl, man.
Right.
It's bowls.
Yeah. So there've been, but I must say, over the past couple of years, I think the Hunsaker incident factor went down exponentially.
It's gone down. Yeah, good. Right, with age, things like that should happen less.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's where I think somewhere in there is usually the point where people realize that, you know what, I can just use alcohol not to relax, or I can just use alcohol to relax, not necessarily in excess.
Yep. And it's interesting that you bring that up because binge drinking is a huge problem in Utah.
Oh.
And I think a little bit of that has to do with that the culture is not one of casual drinking, right? It's so like kids don't grow up seeing dad have a beer with dinner or whatever, you know what I mean? And so like when they do start drinking, they think it's for one thing only. And so yeah, it's like high school drinking their whole lives.
Oh, thanks for taking it dark real quick, Trent. I appreciate
I'm just saying,
that.
You know, we're all different strokes.
Well, hey, I get it though. It's and I'm not trying to make light of drinking at all. But I don't really tend to drink, so I'm kind of worried now because I do have the bottle of eggnog here, but now I have decided. Now you've put the fear of dairy in me, Trent, is what you've done.
Well, no, you'll be fine.
Well, especially since, look, I got to be honest, man. Okay, I have seen the rise of Skywalker not once, but twice now, already. Because and part of the reason is because my brother-in-law is in town, and he specifically said I haven't been able to see the movie yet, and I want to see it with you. So you can't turn somebody away like that.
No.
Right?
No. Well, and so I've yet to see it.
Well, hold on a second. What he may have said was, "We're going to go see it tomorrow. Did you want to go?" That may be a little more accurate to what he said.
Yeah.
Maybe somewhere in between. I'm not sure which.
I've heard people say that it, like many of the other more recent Star Wars episodes, that it is probably one that you will like the more and more you watch it. Your love for it will grow each time because there's so much packed into it.
Well, all I know is it's a 2.5-hour movie, and we are, by lack of available alternative options, we're hosting Christmas Day at our house.
Oh, yeah.
So, because I both went to a movie and am now doing this, very near the time after we finish, I will be going to the grocery store to get everything that we need. I'm not going to say as penance, but it might feel a little that way.
Well, you're you're taking a withdrawal from the bank right now, and so you're just going to refill that clout back into the bank by getting that stuff.
Yeah, I don't blame my wife because it's the grocery store is hell. It's hell right
dude,
now.
I can imagine. I made the mistake of going to the liquor store because state-run liquor stores here in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
They had a cop checking people's IDs to try and make things go faster at the cash registers. So when you walked in, you were ID'd, so they wouldn't have to ID you at the cash register. It was like a 15-minute wait in line to buy booze.
And and the majority of that, those are overexcited rookies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, like me, I went in for one bottle of cachaça. That was it, right? I got it, and then I waited and waited. But yeah, some people are like, arms full. I'm like, it's closed for one day, guys. And it's a day early from the day that it closes even. Like, good Lord, calm down. It's one day.
Oh, that's beautiful, man. I've just I've just been exposed to the grocery store, and I'm it's California, so
You can buy it. You can buy
got
booze
everything.
there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm
came
into
in.
it, man.
I just came in for some chewing gum, but I could really go for a nice rosé tonight.
Yeah,
I have
exactly.
that kind of buying choice.
Yeah, but kids might see that and become addicted. They might see you buying a wine spritzer mix or something,
Yeah,
and then they'll be like, "Oh, I have to drink now."
yeah. I'm not
I
making
could
that
get
a
into
habit.
Utah liquor laws; they're all bizarre and nuts. But Matthew Corey he's our unofficial archivist as well. Our first Nog-A-Thon was our second year, 2011. So this is our 9th Nog-A-Thon.
Well, you're still making the supposition that we
I don't
definitely
think
have
we've missed
done one
one.
every year.
I don't think we've missed one. I really
If
don't.
only there were this thing called like a discussion
Now,
of show and research in advance.
way
We could really
way
not be
too.
wasting everyone's time working this
Will,
out.
I had a 15-minute wait at the liquor store. One day that it's closed. The day after tomorrow.
There was no time for planning. I was in line for
No,
alcohol.
I was in line. And then I had to stop at the grocery store because heaven forbid you sell liquor next to limes. No. We got to spread the wealth around, folks.
Oh my god. Oh, you're gonna make my head explode. this crazy chaotic world you live in.
It's just it's insane. It's insane.
Hang on. I'm just trying to hear if we may be giggling it up too much like little girls in here. And,
Yeah. So like, hey, what's going on in there?
Pretty much.
You'll hear the broom being hit on your floor here in a second. Thump, 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 thump.
Well, that'd be terrifying because I'm on a concrete slab and this is the bottom floor. But
I keep on forgetting that you moved rooms.
it's just be like, well, gosh darn it. Satan
Like,
really does just come a knocking, don't he?
The mole people are upset.
Oh, it's the unsmellable killer radon gas. It's like by law, I gotta knock now.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, how quickly it devolved. Anyway.
That'd be a good villain's name, Radon.
So
and he like sneaks in all quiet like. Sorry. It kind of went dark in my mind, so I just stopped.
I think there was some point. I think one of the greatest superhero names I heard was like the the Invisible Traveler was like one of them. I think, or no, it was. Never mind. That joke's gonna suck. Let's move on. So I've seen the movie and you haven't. So you just no chance of seeing it.
No, not yet. No. But I'm not averse to spoilers if you want to talk about it.
Nah, not really. I'm okay.
Okay.
I think
now
I think it's just one of those things that everybody's got to experience in their own way.
how does it rate in the newest trilogy? 1, 2, or 3?
I don't know, man. I can't really. I mean, I'm not trying to waffle here, and I'm not trying to like avoid spoilers, but I don't know. It's just because for me these back 3 have been an interesting experience, but they haven't been like wholeheartedly Star Wars in spirit to me. So
No, I feel you.
So I just kind of, I almost kind of experience each one as its own experience. And like with this one, if I were to say anything, it's just, there are a few unanswered things or things that a little more info might have been nice about.
I've heard that as well.
And that's about it. And at that point, is it going to be, because I know there were a lot of people that were shitting on what was that? The Last Jedi.
Last Jedi, yeah.
And for me, I was just like, and it's kind of been my experience with all of these, which is just nobody's letting me make Star Wars. So the Star Wars we get is just the Star Wars we get. And so
it's Star Wars,
yeah,
which we love,
but
regardless.
But then you do have things happen, because obviously Star Wars fans, it's a really messed up, weird culture. Because
Yes,
you're either you're wrong because you don't share my opinion, or you're wrong because you do share my opinion. In a lot of my experience that I see online, right?
Right. Yeah.
So it's a rough crowd, and but each one of these I just kind of took as their own experience, and I liked them for the elements that they did have, and for the work that I saw that somebody was trying to put forth in telling a story. And the other thing too is that this new one, I think, in a really good way, kind of it works logically into something that's very complex, because it's trying to stick the landing of this latter 3 trilogy of movies as well as the entire overall saga.
Right.
So how do you do both of those things? And
especially when the writer director didn't have control of the second one.
yeah. And
right? Like
yeah.
that to me is like, if it makes sense at all, props to this dude, because like it's like everyone's vision is different, right?
Mhm.
Like that's just the way things are. And I don't know, I feel like the last two, and maybe this is just a sign of getting older, I don't know, but like with the two that have preceded this one, I feel that I pick out points or things in the film that kind of like pull me out of the film,
Mhm.
rather than shitting on the whole film itself. I'm saying, well, this part and this part was a little weird, or I didn't like this part, rather than being like, oh, I ruined my childhood. Blah.
No, but like, to hit on anything, Carrie Fisher does have a presence in the movie using other footage, and because I went in knowing that, then any experience I'm having with her performance, my mind instantly goes to, okay, how much did they change? Because it's
Sure,
like,
to fit this scene.
hey guys, what's that list of dialogue we got again? What are the performance options?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yep.
so that for me is like the only, and that's the reason why I can't really kind of fit where this movie fits in, because it's kind of both of those things.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed it. I've seen it twice. That in itself says something.
In California,
Yeah.
not the cheapest of movie attendances.
No, hold on. Can we refinance the house again? All right, we can go to the movies tomorrow. We'll just take a little more
We're
out.
not, but we're bringing our own popcorn.
Yeah. Just look. Just open your purse. Come on. We can just let's put this in here. Oh. Yeah. So, but it's out there, and I don't know. I think it's so funny. I think I saw the headlines that basically at the multiple hundreds of millions of dollars it has made over the weekend, it's both a great opening and a disappointing opening for Disney, I think, compared to like the other films.
Box office opening, right?
Yeah.
Not I was, for a second I was like, oh, does like the screen crawl only go halfway? Thinking like opening of the film. I'm like, why does Disney give a shit about the screen crawl?
No, it wasn't at that level, Trent. You silly goose. Now, why haven't you gone to see it yet?
I've just been getting things ready, work. And then yesterday I was finishing up some photo edits. So to promote for an upcoming DCW show, so I didn't get a chance to get out of there. Doobie Snacks is chiming in on the old NetHeads hashtag, and unofficial Roller Dog NC says, or the unofficial producer says, this is our 7th Nog-A-Thon, as it appears we did not do them in 2013 or 2015.
Well, hold on. He's calling right now, and good God, is the ring volume insane.
I stole his thunder.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, also, I don't know if he can hear us. Just so you know.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
There we go. The communications still amazingly somehow work.
The streams have touched.
Yeah.
Happy Nog-A-Thon, gentlemen.
Happy.
So
well,
glad to have you back.
I was Thanks, man. I was having a great time, but then I do realize I do have to go to the grocery store. So I just started drinking the water out of my ice bowl. So, we're not off to a great start. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
You
So-
got
At
all
least you're
night
not
to
drinking-
do it.
No, I don't. Look, the grocery store right now is hell, man. It's hell, and it doesn't matter
So
what
the
time
longer
it's.
you wait, the better.
No, because then what if the stuff I need is gone?
Oh, that's true.
I
didn't
mean,
think
how
about
much
that.
confectioner sugar is left in the world, Trent?
Not a lot, I would guess.
Oh.
Not with all these tariffs going on.
And what if they've only got like 2 bottles of almond extract left? That if I don't get it, it's my ass.
Obama not
The-
taking away my extract.
See?
Well, because of the droughts. I don't even know if they use almonds in all. I guess they would. Why wouldn't they use?
I don't know.
almonds?
Hey, Trent, I don't think Matt Corey here wants to hear about my grocery woes because it's like I don't know, 10:54 p.m. I think where he is. So
On
It
the
is.
East Coast.
what's the purpose of your call, sir, other than providing the educational number that he was just describing, that there have been 7 Nog-A-Thons?
According
See,
to
Trent,
the backlog listed on smodcast.com heads, I did not see one in 2013 or I believe it was 2015. So we've had 2
Ah, it
years
makes
without a
sense.
Nog-A-Thon.
Well, 2015
sense.
certainly makes contextual sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rough
Yeah.
year.
That was one thing I even pointed out because I was telling Trent that I was just trolling through your Twitter history I was trying to find the beer carton as a helmet picture, which I didn't, but instead I found the taco bursting one instead, and I'm like, dude, full disclosure, I just got done combing through your timeline. Whoa, what a journey! Because seriously, goddamn.
Yeah. But hey, all's well that doesn't kill you.
Yeah,
It hasn't ended yet, so we don't know if it's ended well.
that's what you keep saying, and I'm not getting nervous about that at all. But what was the purpose of your call, sir?
Oh, well, you got into the new Star Wars movie.
Oh,
My thought, I did see it. It just seems like when JJ makes a movie, it's like the movie is late for a meeting.
yeah.
Everyone's always rushing
Okay.
everywhere. They always say, "Oh yeah, that's somebody that I knew long ago." Oh, haha, and then there's nothing else. And now they maybe show up again for a few minutes, but yeah, it's like let the film breathe.
Dude, they gave
Now-
3PO some great moments in this movie, though.
They did.
They were Anthony Daniels was like, I am going to eat only cabbage for the next goddamn year so I can be stapled into your wacky plastic gold costume. I want lines this time, JJ. That's what happened somewhere.
So some interesting trivia. I did a Star Wars trivia a couple weeks ago at the pub. Anthony Daniels is the only actor to have been in every single Star Wars movie.
Yes.
C-3PO was in
Baker's
every
gone.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. And the only thing I'll say there too, Trent, like during the major battle sequence, keep your eyes up and your ears alert
Okay.
in regards to
Okay.
Daniels.
Yeah. He better not die.
I was wondering if that was what you're talking about. If that was what I saw.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And there's
Interesting.
one scene.
Okay.
I'm not to be too spoilery, but at a certain point, there's like voices of Jedi's past, and it was really cool that one of the voices was Olivia Dabo who did the voice of Luminara, the Jedi
Yeah.
Master on the Clone Wars. She had like the black
Yeah.
robes.
Yep.
So that's sweet.
Yeah,
Our girl from Star Trek is now officially film canon for Star Wars.
Man, why has that always got to come back to your episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation?
I've had one thing in my life.
I feel like it's always all roads lead back to
I mean,
the Q Kid episode, man.
I don't have a story by credit.
No, I don't either. It's a good point.
Is that the credit that you got was story by?
It was based upon material by.
Oh, okay.
That,
Yes.
But still, hey,
Dude, more than I've got.
That's true. I'm gonna do my next screenplay about the BART train smoking and one brave man's journey to get home.
Oh wow, that's another wow. I'm feeling old. That's a callback to me. Because there was one stupid time I was on the commuter train and there's been some disagreement of whether it was a fire or whether it was brake pads that disintegrated, but they said a large amount of brake dust had kicked up into the system just as we were in the tunnel. And so imagine being in a gigantic
Oh my god.
aluminum tube, basically, inside of a concrete tube, and suddenly, just as you're going underneath the earth into a tunnel, it suddenly feels like there is a massive amount of smoke that just keeps increasing.
Now, is this between Oakland and San Francisco?
No,
The
that's
tunnel?
not the underwater tube. It was the same area as the Caldecott Tunnel. So basically, going from Orinda to Oakland, or to Berkeley is what's on the immediate other side. But that was a fun day. That was a blast. I did go home with a migraine.
Well,
Not that
I
it
would
matters.
believe so.
Hey, you got something.
What did you ask Santa for this year, Matthew?
Oh man.
You've been naughty. You're not getting anything, young
I
man.
have. I'm asking him for a new iPhone. I'm still rocking the 6S.
It's a good phone.
Yeah, it's held up. The battery still lasts the whole day if I don't use Pokemon Go too much.
Okay, so Pokemon Go is still a thing.
It's still out there. Yeah, people still it's like not as out and proud, but as a lot of people still play it, and it's like you'll see a lot of folks out there. It's like, oh yeah, people still do that. Okay.
Yeah, I had a brief trip to New York in November, and around there I actually saw quite a few people playing Pokemon Go. I don't know if it was because it was a major metropolitan area.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of stuff to collect there.
Yeah.
I've
Which I had thought, is this still a thing? Because, for whatever reason, oh yeah, free movie. I watched Detective Pikachu on the flight.
Oh, how was it?
Honestly, it wasn't anywhere near as bad as I thought it would be. Which, it was like almost okay. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Now, I've dabbled a little bit with Wizards Unite, and I think that's been an interesting take on the same kind of platform made by the same people. So of course it would do that. As I just read all the Harry Potter books this summer, for the first time.
Wow.
And yeah, it was fun. Anyway, yeah, mostly right now mobile games though for me, top-down shooters. Lots of fun. Very easy. You can do it with your thumb.
Nice.
Wait, did you just say that you read all of the Harry Potter books for the first time this summer?
Yeah, I've never read any of them before this year.
Yeah?
Dude, I freaking love Harry Potter.
Dude, yeah, but with like the Deathly Hallows, wasn't there a certain point where you're just like, we're still camping? Seriously? Can we not be camping anymore?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's enough of being in the woods. We gotta move these kids along.
Yep. Yeah, and that's only like midway through the book. Either that book is long.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, well, hey Matt, thanks for the call, man.
You're welcome, guys. Great to have you back. I was trying to look up the episode number of Smoked My Train where you told the story.
Yeah.
It's in the NetHeads archive somewhere. Enjoy.
Somewhere in
it'll
there.
be a good jewel for the race to current for the next people.
Yeah,
Yes.
There you go.
So happy Nog-A-Thon, and I'll talk to you guys in the new year. Thanks.
Be well.
Happy holidays, man. Thank you.
There we go. That was a very
You're good dude.
That was a good sign on and sign off too. If only
Yeah.
If only this thing wasn't going to deafen us with a ring every single time. I can't stand it, man. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, you can't really turn off notifications because then, in general, you don't know if
wouldn't
somebody's
know.
calling. But I miss the days of just being able to say "shut the hell up," and it wouldn't go. But I'm a grumpy old man now. Never mind.
Yeah. Get off my lawn.
Well, do you think you're going to get to the movie this
Sunday.
holiday season?
Sunday,
Oh, Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah.
Going to church, I hear. Okay.
Yes, that will be my church.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, I had to I had to I just didn't want to feel like I had to avoid the internet and just cuz I
Yeah.
wanted to go see a movie. So
Yeah. Yeah, I just loathe everything so much of the internet that I don't see a whole lot in the spaces I visit of spoilers.
you're like I have really narrowed down my window of exposure to things, Will.
Yeah.
I really have like a near microscopic level of internet
Yeah.
ingestion now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm plugged in all day long, but like it's definitely not social feeds that I'm into that where spoilers could arise usually. But if they do, that's on me. I take that onus for not been there, right? Like,
Well,
yeah.
and to kind of take it like to another level too, because like things you can't get away from on the internet. But I think the other item that kind of oddly played both for me and against me in seeing Rise of Skywalker is just the demonstration that Disney Plus's The Mandalorian is bringing to us, showing that you can tell other stories within this universe and tell a compelling story that'll get people watching.
So I heard people speculating that the reason that The Mandalorian had its release schedule that it did have was so that it was suggested viewing prior to the movie. Would you say that is correct?
No,
or not?
I would say that there's an element that is in, excuse me, The Mandalorian this week that I would also say shares a similarity to something that you could see in the new movie. There's
Okay.
one thing, but no,
Okay.
I firmly believe they did it just because they didn't want anyone to have any reason to not be in a seat December 20th, 2019.
Yeah.
Because
That
it wasn't
and like how else do you not get people to sign up, right? You've got The Mandalorian playing on Disney Plus. Everyone's gonna get Disney Plus.
Well, I have to admit that the Imagineering story has been something that I enjoyed for the first 6 weeks of Disney Plus.
I haven't delved into it yet, but I've been told the exact same thing from a huge Disney fan with whom I work. Because I've been so Simpsoned, man. I've watched like probably like 17 seasons of The Simpsons so far. Yeah, it's only been out for like 6 weeks, dude.
On Disney Plus is what you're saying. You just instantly fell
Yeah.
down the Simpsons rabbit hole.
Yep.
Wow. No, I
Yeah,
haven't
the only
done that.
the only thing that I've watched that wasn't The Simpsons since Disney Plus came out was the Dark Crystal series on Netflix.
I got to be honest, I couldn't make it through that.
Really?
Yeah,
Man, I
it didn't.
loved it.
I mean, maybe it's because I did also recently revisit the Dark Crystal and realize, wow, that was really romanticized by my much younger brain.
Man, it makes no sense. Like it makes more sense now that they've apologetically gone back and created a story to have it make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But after I finished the series, I was like, I'm gonna go back and rewatch the Dark Crystal, and I was just like, the hell is this? They don't explain shit in this movie.
Exactly, man. It's like
Good Lord, how did anyone like repeat view this?
it was seriously what we would call in the professional business a bad trip. Okay.
Totally, man. Totally beautiful, especially for the time, right?
Yeah.
But as far as storytelling goes, very lacking.
Yeah, not a lot of depth there. But hey, look, man, we're here to celebrate the holidays. We're not here to shit on the Dark Crystal. At least
No, because
that was never my
I loved
intention coming in.
I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun. And then the little documentary they have about making it was a ton of fun too. Just talking about, all the practical effects.
Yeah. And that was, I mean, honestly, I was looking forward to it, but I just couldn't get through it. But that it also could be that it came out during a time when I wasn't really sleeping really well. So it's just like, I'm tired of falling asleep, missing or trying to watch a show.
My brother said the same thing, though. He started it and just couldn't get through it. It just wasn't his cup of tea.
Yeah. Well, sometimes that happens, man. Sometimes you have the best of intentions, and other times you're like, oh, I'll check out Jack Ryan on Amazon, and next thing you know, you're like, what do you mean I'm already at the end of the story? What happened?
Oh, is it good?
Yeah, I've enjoyed both seasons of it, because I think with this one the stakes got a little more realistic, and it's been a good run so far. I also have I in no way have any connection to the show, but I just remember. Like my first year going to San Diego Comic-Con, they had a massive offsite activation that had like a zip line and an escape room, and
cool.
I never went in it.
No,
I just got to hear about how cool it was.
You appreciated it from a non physical afar. Now again, calling back to trivia, I didn't know this. Tom Clancy's first book was The Hunt for the Red October, which is also the first Jack Ryan book.
Yeah.
I did not know that character was in the movie. Or not the movie, but the book. I don't remember.
That was Alec Baldwin.
That's the character he plays is Jack Ryan.
That's right.
No shit.
This is and he's not an American James Bond, which,
right.
By the way, I got to tell you, one funny thing I noticed, because, when I finally went to go see the movie, every time a trailer came on before the movie, I'm like, all right, good. Could that be the last trailer? Can I just get my Star Wars now, please? Yeah. But I quickly noticed something, because my mind is just constantly trying to filter these goddamn things out. I just want the movie.
Yeah.
Within 3 subsequent trailers, there was a scene, starting first with the James Bond trailer, and then with Free Guy. No, Bad Boys, and I think it was Bad Boys, and then Free Guy. Okay? Every one of those trailers at one point, I think, if I've got the right ones in there, have a scene where there is a vehicle that is spinning, and someone is firing guns that are then getting the whole crowd. 1, 2, 3 in a row.
Oh, and that company was like, damn it! Why did we make all 3 of these the same?
Guys, why did...
It's a template. Don't yell at me. You told me to crank them out quickly.
And everyone's like, look, we can't ever do the spinning gun shooting scene like Rick and Morty got to do, but because honestly, God, it's so horrific.
It's really ignited something in me.
Nobody gets to do one that cool, but I'm like, who was it? Is it like one trailer house that's churning these things out for major corporations now, and it literally is just a template?
Probably, man. I mean, there's got to be so much data that's been pulled on audience like engagement with a trailer or whatever, that they know like right at the right second that we need to have this happen, or we need to have something like this happen, depending on what genre of film it is.
And I wonder how much are scenes that you see in movies now dictated by the very building of a trailer while the movie's still being made.
Totally, dude. Yeah. Oh, did you see how many shares we had of this clip with blah 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 versus the one of them just talking? Oh, we better ramp that up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. That's terrifyingly accurate, I think.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But man, there were like, and I don't even know what 1917 is about, but that was a trailer that was on before the movie as well. It's basically about like one brother has to make it across German lines to warn another brigade of 1,700 men not to attack because it's a trap. And one of those men is his brother. And, if they don't get that message across, it's going to be a slaughter. That's what it's described as.
And this is the Akbar family, right?
I don't know. No, funny. I see what you did there. For a moment, I was deeply processing, and in the back of my mind is Akbar. I'm like, well, no, there's no way he's not talking about anything but the goddamn fish. So there's nothing else in history that isn't Akbar. Although there is one point where a character goes to talk to another one of the fish creatures, and you can audibly hear in the mix the guys go, "Hey, Junior, come here. Let me tell you something." And you wonder, it's like, oh, is that one of like Akbar's 50 eggs that hatched?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Or because that's what I kind of feel like they were implying there.
Right.
Which is the kind of thing you don't get to notice the first time you see the movie, because you're just all in story mode.
Yeah. I've just heard that like they're so like, and the late two showed up late is a good way to describe it, at least as it's been described to me, because like everything's just rushing from one thing to the other, like they're trying to pack it all in, for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, there are only a few brief moments to breathe, I think.
Yeah.
One point, my brother-in-law asked me, he's like, in your opinion, is this a good time to go take a leak? And I'm like,
I'm telling you, man.
Kind of, but it was like, yeah, kind of, yeah.
The app we need to make and retire on.
There you go. Here we go. We got another phone call. I don't know who it is, though. You're live with Will Trent. Who are you? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Paul Four-Color PJ on Twitter.
There we go. Look. The time has finally been fulfilled. Contact the scribes. Have them emblazon it in stone that the phone call has been received, has been initiated and shook, and then accepted. Because, he's finally getting the call in.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, because usually you guys are on when I'm asleep, because I'm on the East Coast, much like Roller Dog NC. I'm actually up in Canada, though, so...
Yeah, I thought we were kind of pushing it, excuse me, going to 7 p.m., but like I said, I went to go see, priorities, I went to go see a movie. I sound like such a douche.
I have tomorrow off, so I can drink, so hey.
Yes, me too, except I'm supposed to drive and see my parents. We'll see what happens.
You're supposed to drive home on Christmas Eve?
Yeah. But then I get to come home on Christmas Day. See what I did? Yeah.
Nice. But you also, you only mixed one and brought it down. So as long as you ascend the stairs responsibly, Trent.
Yeah, that's true.
You shouldn't be in too bad of a state.
But then I'll probably be hungry and I'll want to like wash something down with it. Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's a surprise.
Yeah. So there's a couple other things you have to notice in the Star Wars movie. In the collection of ships, the Ghost does appear from Rebels.
Oh,
and
really?
Also, Kanan's voice is in the list of Jedis, and so is Ahsoka Tano's.
Yeah, he hasn't seen it, but there's a.
Oh, I love Ahsoka.
You hear a bunch of Jedi's past, and
the only one you don't hear is Ezra, though. So technically, he's still alive.
Ah.
That's
Dude,
the only one that
man,
didn't list.
The animated Star Wars, both the Clone Wars and Rebels, so good.
Yeah, but I never got to watch them. Man.
Yeah, and the Ghost is also.
Oh, don't point out they're on Disney Plus. Don't. Wife's gonna come home and I'm watching cartoons. Yeah, that's a good look for an adult. Where's your daughter? Sitting there on the iPad because I'm a responsible parent. What are you doing? I'm watching Star Wars cartoons.
They're on a forest planet. Can you believe that?
Look, honey, it's a black saber blade. Isn't that amazing? That's not gonna fly, bro. It's not gonna go. It's not gonna work.
Sorry, Paul. You were saying.
The Ghost ship also appears in Rogue One as well. It's a very quick clip of it, but you do see the ship as well in Rogue One.
And my favorite of the new Star Wars.
Yeah, and they also send out a shout out to I forget her name, but the Twi'lek in Rebels.
Yes,
the general's name is the girl, not her dad. It's the girl.
Right. Oh shit! I'll remember it.
I'm just drinking more ice water. Literally. Don't mind me. That's why, in case everyone's wondering, the majority of the show behind the scenes has been me drinking from a bowl of melting ice.
The first time I saw you do it, I was like, what? So like that you just didn't want to dump out the milk from your cereal, so that's what you're using for your eggnog?
No, Well, I can't refill the eggnog cup, so I just
Right.
keep putting
Yeah.
ice in there. But then,
Yeah.
there's only so much you want to drink this slime. So
Sure.
you're like,
Sure.
God, I want some water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul, where does this movie, if you had to pick what a favorite of the three, not including Rogue One, where does this one fall? 1, 2, or 3?
It's kind of hard because there's a lot of fun fan service in it, and callbacks to like a lot of the old things. So I kind of want to say it's one of my favorite ones out of it, just because of a lot of the, I had several like almost Kevin Smith moments of just openly
Yes.
bawling, going, "Oh my God, there's that! Hey, wait a minute, they just referenced that." Kind of tear up a little bit. I didn't go full Kevin
Yeah.
Smith, but I did
You
have a
said-
couple
So
big
you weren't
smiles on
filming
my
yourself
face.
while crying or anything like that, right?
No. My wife, who was beside me, would have like definitely looked weird at me.
Pull it together, Paul. God.
Yeah.
Take you anywhere. This is the last time we go to a movie.
See, you say that, and like after I saw it, my family all asked me, "So did you cry? How many times did you cry? Did you cry
Well,
once?
Did
Shut
ya?
up, just once."
Yes. It's good. It's good
probably,
for you.
And probably, even though the embargo has been lifted, at some future spoiler-free date, I think it would be okay and kind of fun to determine, like, if Trent watches it now and he just happens to have only one part as well, we could wager what we think the other cried at, and then we can see who is right. Because I don't think mine would be as predictable as you may think.
Interesting.
I
Interesting.
think.
Yeah. I tend to cry even more at movies on subsequent viewings because I know what's going to happen, and so in my mind I'm like anticipating it, and I'm like, oh, this is going to just freaking destroy me, and then it happens. I'm like, I knew it was going to destroy. So I've made it so much more intense than it actually is, that it just tears me apart.
Well, and like for me, the only thing I've had that's been like a visceral reaction like that was in Endgame. And on me now, that's always been a series of diminishing returns. There's only so much I can still kind of react to the last act of that film.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I agree.
But for a while, it was a nice crutch to have. It's just like, I'm not feeling so hot today. I'm just gonna watch the battle scene at the end of Avengers Endgame.
I don't feel so good, Mr. Wilkins.
Yeah. Anyway, Paul, thanks for the call, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Oh, the one thing I was going to ask is,
Oh,
how
yeah,
are you doing with the DDP yoga? Or are you still doing it?
It has. It's been very intermittent because life has been crazy. But what I did do was surprisingly productive, more so than I thought it would be. But I straight up fell off the wagon and have yet to climb back on. I'll be honest. Haven't much, but it's not because there was anything wrong. It's a matter of, actually, it's one of those things where the full technology is there and the tools are available, but things just aren't coming together quite right in my home because I don't want to have to try and look at my cell phone to see the move along with video to try and do the same stuff. And it'd be much easier if it were like on my TV, but after trying with the Silk browser, I got frustrated and just gave up. So it's my level of commitment, I guess.
You can also Chromecast it too, because there's a Chromecast button. When you go into the workout, you can just hit cast and it'll cast it to your TV.
Yeah, but for that, in my house, I have to have a Chromecast set up.
Oh, true enough.
Yeah.
Right you are, Ken.
All right, man. Well, have a good one. And hopefully we'll see me fall back on that wagon. Can you fall back on a wagon, Trent?
Yeah. You're
Okay.
back. You're just back on the wagon.
All right, man. Have a good one.
All right. Yeah, you too. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
See you, Paul. Merry Christmas, dude.
Yeah, the war on Christmas does not exist here. When did people start getting so? I mean, when truly was the war on Merry Christmas, Trent?
Oh,
I don't.
God, it has never happened.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's not a thing. It's never been a thing.
I don't. But look, I get not everybody celebrates Christmas, but
No, everyone does.
everyone does. If you're
Like,
certain
yeah,
geographic areas, that's just what it is.
no one is upset about it, and so like these feigned war on Christmas is not real. It's infotainment, is what it is.
Hey Trent, let's also, because this is the Nog-A-Thon, and because
Yes, sir.
we're coming near the end here.
Yes, sir.
Why don't we talk about the fun surprise I got yesterday? Because
Let's.
well, I had a little while back, I had said, "Hey Trent, we do have patrons of our Patreon page,
Yeah.
like there's a Zach there and another Zach, and there's Miranda
Zachs.
Janelle, and for certain levels you get certain perks." And I'm like, "Hey Trent, you remember that really stupid idea of making some NetHeads t-shirts? Do you still have those, and can you send them to me?" And to which Trent, promptly replied, "Yeah, definitely."
Yeah.
So I was very shocked on a Sunday when I got a USPS package delivered, and
Yeah,
then
that's crazy.
and then it was from you, and
Yeah.
and at that point then I'm like, I did what I now know is exactly what you didn't want me to do, which is just said, "Oh, cool, Trent sent the t-shirts, set the box down, walk away," right?
Awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
So then I
What
thought,
else? What else could be in there? But
Right.
it feels like t-shirts. It's the heft of t-shirts.
Yeah.
It doesn't shake. It's soft. Whatever's in there.
yeah, exactly. It's just,
No, this is sound logic, man.
it's dense. But then something in the back of my mind said, you know what? Trent is a much better person than I am. So
Oh.
let me cut open the box just to make sure it's just the t-shirts. And I open it up.
Yeah.
Sure enough, it's like, oh, t-shirts, 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 t-shirts. And we did one limited run. They're white.
Yep.
With black print, because
Mhm.
that's one color printing. It's the cheapest thing you can do.
Yep.
Because I'm really trying to sell up the quality.
They are high quality though.
But then there was this pocket of black, and I'm like, well, wait,
Mhm.
I know I didn't order black t-shirts.
Mm-mm. Nope.
So was this the first clue that you put in to say keep digging deeper?
No, honestly, I didn't even think about like that it being like a surprise or anything. I was just, I think that I put them in to make sure that the other stuff was secured, and then put the shirts in around it.
So wait a second. Hold on. Wait a minute.
No, so
Okay.
I put the stuff in, then I put in the black Death Ray t-shirts to secure the spot of the items, and then I filled in the rest like packing peanuts with
Okay.
the white t-shirts.
It still stands. So wait a second. Are you using the old Pew Pew t-shirts as packing materials now?
No, I just I had some laying around the house.
You're just like, I'll be
that have not
goddamn.
been- that have-
I could
that
go
have not
buy.
been used.
I could go buy the butcher paper, or I just got these t-shirts here.
No, but I was like, oh, I'll throw these in because they were on top of the. I've got a bunch of them. If anyone wants, hit me up. On top of the NetHeads t-shirt. So I was like, oh yeah, grab stuff.
You just happened
And
to
then the
randomly
t-shirts went on
grab
top.
3XL though. That just completely random.
No, that wasn't random.
And I'm just like, oh man, that is so cool because I still love my Pew Pew t-shirts.
Yeah.
And now there's more love to go around. But there, which is to tell a bit of a story. So the people that are waiting on their perks from Patreon,
Yeah.
you'll be getting a communication from me saying I have these t-shirt sizes available. Which one is yours? And then we'll be sending that off. So that'll be our end of the year holiday gift that'll come, probably mid-February because
Happy holidays.
exactly. Happy Arbor
'cause I
Day,
think we-
everybody.
Yeah. See, that's when there's a war on Christmas, is when you don't fulfill for Christmas.
There you go.
You can say happy holidays.
Well, they just happen to come in. But then the other cool things, there were more cool things that were in there. First, there was the hardcover compendium of Rick and Morty comic books 1 through 10
yes.
was in there. There was also a Funko Pop of Snowball from season 1
It's so good.
because my fur is white and pretty.
Like a snowball.
And then the last one was something I have not looked at yet because it was a comic called The Fix.
Yes.
And I can tell it's more in line with the other comics you've sent me, but I'm like, I cannot sit down and read a story right now.
Right.
Because I've got
absolutely.
Because I have a movie to go to, then a podcast to do, then I'm going to go grocery shopping. And the whole time, mind you, I haven't helped my wife clean the house at all. Not at all.
Right.
Well, I mean, I cleaned some carpets, but that's what, 15, 20 minutes at tops? Come on.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
So The Fix is the creative team of Superior Spider-Man.
Oh.
Nick Spencer and one of my favorite people in the world, Steve Lieber. And it's SoCal. It's a couple of like private dicks. They're kind of the worst. And the best character in the whole thing is their beagle named Pretzels.
Okay.
Dude, you will love it. You are gonna gobble that book up.
I can't wait. I really can't, but I have to. So I will be waiting.
Yeah,
but I look forward to it very much. And of course your gift, it's
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, Trent. Happy holidays. You got Venmo?
Dude, I don't need anything.
I can Venmo you.
I truly am one of those people that it's just like, it's fun to give, and like I get more out of giving than getting. Does that make sense? Sexually, yes. Because I can't do it. Thanks, Zoloft.
Oh my god. This at the same time I'm getting.
I'm on Prestique now. Okay, everyone, calm down.
My lord, I don't know what happened, but happy Nog-A-Thon, everybody.
Happy Nog-A-Thon.
You totally derailed me on what the hell we were even talking about, but
yeah, my apologies.
It's okay. I accept that. So dialing it back to a thought I was having a while ago is that with the Mandalorian, they've really put out something that shows they can tell fun and interesting stories in the Star Wars. I mean, just like they showed us with Rogue One. I mean, why they felt they needed to go back and provide context to IP that is too hard to go back and do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. I totally understand.
With Solo, and not to mention why they pushed it up to May instead of just sticking with December.
It should have been that movie would have been a huge hit in December.
Yeah,
come out on Thanksgiving weekend. Come on, folks.
Yeah. So that being said, Rogue One actually, when I went to New York recently, was one of the items I loaded up on the iPad because I'm like, you know what, I want to watch this one again.
Yeah, it's by far my favorite. You know what? Honestly, and I mean this. It's probably my second favorite Star Wars movie.
Okay.
After Empire.
I accept that. Oh, I'm glad you said Empire, because...
Oh, yeah, obviously, yeah.
It would have me in the Star Wars doghouse, but, like, A New Hope, as it has retroactively been called, is, like, to me, on repeat viewing, is, I mean, it's not the world's greatest paced story in the world.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep, I do.
But it had enough new, interesting stuff. But where was it? It was something, there's a documentary about the making of the trilogy, basically, that kind of goes back and looks at Lucas's early career, coming into the business and how he came to Star Wars after American Graffiti.
Yeah.
And watching that, it was just kind of it was amazing to see, because like the movie that we ended up seeing is something that looks like it in some ways, I think, almost killed George Lucas in putting it together. You know what I mean?
Well,
because I know they came. I think they came back into the studio and they felt that the movie was just a total wreck, and they had to, like, in the documentary they referenced starting from scratch, which I don't know what that meant, but that never sounds good in project management.
Well, so, I know. So the very last project that Dark Horse did before Marvel took over the rights of the IP, was they published a mini series of the original Star Wars script, and boy, it is almost like straight up the prequels. It's no, it is bizarre, dude. It is like trade embargoes and Senate hearings, and just goes on and on and on. And I've heard people speculate, especially after it makes a lot of sense after watching Zach Knutsen's documentary Milius,
Yes.
that George took that script to John Milius, and Milius worked with him on getting something that was then presentable, because he shopped it around and no one wanted the original Star Wars script. It wasn't until his second go around that people were like, oh, okay, yeah, this is way better than that first one you passed around.
Yeah, and that too, man. The guy that greenlit the project at 20th Century Fox was he was not liked at all because of the way the project was, running long, running over, and
way over,
all kinds of stuff. But I think that was also on Disney Plus. So obviously, I've watched some stuff.
A New Hope on Disney Plus, because there are more changes yet again.
You bet your McClunky I have, Trent.
McClunky.
Well, and right now, if my wife were even listening to this, which I don't think her ears could have tolerated this much nerdery in one
McClunky
brief thing. Yeah, so apparently at the point where they considered reissuing the re-release in a 3D format, somewhere along the 3D formatting process, for some reason they added the scene in where before he gets shot, Greedo for some reason shouts McClunky, which okay. So
yeah, so there's two cuts now before the blasters go off. It used to just be one, and now it's two cuts. It goes to that wide cut where they both shoot simultaneously, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But before that, it goes wide to both of them. Then it goes back to him, and he says McClunky, and then it goes wide again for the shot.
Yeah. He's like, what?
It is bizarre.
What? Somebody had to cover and edit there, Trent. That's what they needed to do. Yeah.
McClunky. What the hell is a McClunky?
But yes, I did. I like, of course, recently, knowing we were coming up to this, I had for some reason pulled back up first Last Jedi, and then I'm like, you know what? No, wait a second. They got Star Wars on here. I'm just gonna put on Star Wars, and
me too. Yep.
And then I ended up going through all the at least I did not go back to the prequels. Those are pretty much 3 long stories that, basically I just have some key elements I need to know about. They go in the desert and they find this little kid, and then in the next movie the little kid's older and he's a rebel and he feels things, so he gets married when he shouldn't. And then in the next one, he just kind of...
I've grown a lot too,
Yeah. I mean, it's a weird story. But, in the end, it's just like, okay, yeah, and then some bad guy convinces him to make some bad decisions, and he becomes Darth Vader, and ta-da. So, but I will say that Rise of... Yeah, well, I will say, when you get into Senate rules, and much as the American public is now very familiar with after the last 4 weeks, when you get into Senate hearings and motions to suspend and motions to do this, it's not very engaging. So I thought I would take all of that, trade embargo and Senate posturing and confusing elements of appearing to fund both sides of the equation, and somehow causing
I'm surprised
strife.
the Star Report wasn't somehow influential.
Yeah.
into the prequels.
Yeah.
Maybe it was. I'm just reading it wrong.
Yeah, you missed the whole personal inquiry section. So I kind of ignore the prequels, but I will say that if you have seen them all from beginning to end, there are certain elements that I feel they both do work with over the entire course of events, and with keeping them contextual with everything that you've seen in Force Awakens and Last Jedi, because they've still got to stay within their own continuity as well, if you will. So the movie did a very good job of kind of doing that. But it'll just be interesting to see where everything goes from here, now that we're finally kind of branching off from this particular family's saga, which is kind of interesting too. The way when you see it from beginning to end, it's like how characters come into this and then they go out of it.
Yeah.
They were just kind of like, oh well, you guys, even though you kind of tied the whole room together, you're really kind of all B plot in a way.
Yeah.
to the larger story, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It was an enjoyable vehicle. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
And it's like one of the few things to look forward to. And same thing with The Mandalorian. We're wrapping up season 1 of that, which now because it came out early before the Rise of Skywalker,
Right.
we gotta wait. We gotta wait a whole extra few days now, Trent, for that last episode to drop.
I don't, because I'm waiting for it all to be finished before I even start it. Bitches!
I wanted to talk to you, Trent, because I kind of did that with, I think, I tried to do it as much as I could with The Flash and then with Crisis on Infinite Earths, because I didn't know.
Oh, I love, the crossover. Yeah.
I didn't know how the crossover events were going to end. If they were going to end in that cliffhanger way where you're like extremely mad at the show creators because now you've set up something that I'm going to waste way more than adult males should thinking about.
Right.
Or are you just going to give me a cliffhanger, but it's like, okay, cool. That was a great story up till now, and we're good till you come back. And I kind of caved because this guy that we know was hosting the after show thing. So I'm like, okay, I'll keep all of the Flash stuff backlogged, and then I went with the crossover stuff.
Yeah.
Live. But I really, there was a certain point, man, where I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait for it all to drop. So I don't blame you.
It's just so, and granted, I totally understand that, like, the way I spend large chunks of time are not what most people are able to do. I understand that. But holy hell, is it gratifying to watch back to back to back stuff. You pick up on stuff. Everything seems to move a lot faster. You stay hyped about what's going on. Week to week, man, I just have such a short memory.
Actually, I think the stories they've been telling have been good enough to where that hasn't been an issue.
Good. That's good.
But I will say that originally, when it news came out that essentially we were getting a new episode every week, my first thought, my gut reaction is, why in this binge releasing day would you do this? But then I realized somebody in Disney PR said, guys, if we hold back and we keep this content flowing weekly, we will keep the conversation about this thing going the entire time after our big freaking launch.
Yep. No, it's true. Writer for, Star Wars Insider, StarWars.com, Film Stealth, et cetera, Brian Young, I has been like dropping a weekly column on multiple sites about his take on it and stuff, and it's gotten a ton of traction. That if it had all been out at one time, you write one review, right? Like you get kind of that first week of it, and then you get to release the next season, and then you get another week of it, and then you know what I mean? Like it's totally smart, and I totally get it. And it keeps people from subscribing for 1 month, watching the one thing they thought they wanted to watch, and then unsubscribing.
Okay, and here's the flip side as well. For them, it is kind of a double down win, because not only did they do this, not only is the dialogue continuing, but they have had something that has become so meme-rific for them.
Oh yeah,
because
I can't escape the memes.
Yeah, the child is all over the social medias, and it's just like every week they drop one thing, and I don't think they ever intentionally did this in production other than thinking, there's always some point in this show where I want the child to do something really relatable or adorable, and so that way we can blow up social media. I don't think that was the intent. I think it was just, I want to have these moments as a show creator. But the end product has become something that I myself, I don't dig memes so much, but I myself have even used an image and made a reference now, because how can I not?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
So for them, it's been a double win strategy, because they've not only got the dialogue going, but also they've just had some meme-rific stuff that has just played very well.
Well, and like, it's so smart, because they're affecting what they want on the dialogue of popular culture, right? Like anything that, like, a meme can everyone is going to see that, and then they're going to be, oh, explain this. What is this? Why does Yoda look so weird here? To someone who, otherwise may not even have exposure to it. It's freaking brilliant. Like, foiled again, Disney.
Well, the funny part for me is my 16-year-old. She went to go see the movie with us today, and she came out in the car. She basically asked me, "Wait, so where was the child?" And I'm like, "No, that's from the Disney Plus show, The Mandalorian. That is not related to this movie whatsoever." So for those that aren't still kind of in the fold, there is a way to know that, or to not know what Baby Yoda is or where he comes from. So
right,
and I don't mean
true.
like I don't mean in the canonical reference of the
his species has never been identified except for the non-canon, now Legend series.
Yeah, that's not the direction I wanted to be going. So there you go. Thank you for that, Trent. Appreciate it.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. But it's been a fun time. So wow, this is realistically, Trent. We've heard this term a lot lately. Since we all kind of survived Y2K,
yes,
all of us, meaning the two guys that I know and are involved in this conversation right now.
Right.
There's been a lot of reference, though, to the last that of the decade. And considering, I think, if I'm not mistaken, NetHeads started in 2011?
I want to say 2010.
No, that was when I think you dropped in on Radio Askew.
You're right. Yes, we've been yeah. You're right. Yeah.
But still,
so yes, 2011.
I'm still your longest standing podcast partnership.
Oh, and the person that can honestly say that has the most interaction with me outside of living in the same house or working in the same office.
Oh wow. Well, that
without a doubt, I talk to you more than like my parents or other friends.
I don't think I'm beating the parents. I mean, like every once in a
while.
Oh,
you are.
They'll
let you know how infrequently I speak with them.
No, like every once in a while they'll come through town and you're going to dinner with them and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean that's every month or so, maybe.
Yeah, see, we don't necessarily. I mean, we took November off.
November off.
Not intentionally either. I mean, I don't know how it is.
No.
Just like, wait a second. Oh, but November's over. We didn't do anything. Oh, well.
Yeah.
I'll just sit in a room and talk to myself then for a little bit and try and not come off like a crazy person. Failed miserably. But yeah, this is probably going to be the last of our podcast together for this decade.
Holy shit, you're right.
I mean, more than likely. I mean, I don't know, anything could happen between now and the end of the year, but I'm just saying that. I mean, I guess we probably could do something on the 30th, because that's not. This is really a conversation we should have off air. But should this be the last of these for the decade? What do you think is? I mean, I hate to put you on the spot, and I also hate to try and remember pretty much the better part of a decade's worth of stuff.
Yeah.
But what is your? What do you think is your most valued NetHeads memory?
Can I have two?
Sure.
I'm gonna say three.
Give a mouse a cookie.
In no particular order. The few times that we did this morning show, for me was super, super like special because I was doing it in a closed Death Ray Comics right before I had opened it for the day. It was downtown, and I felt like I was the I forget his name, but I was the radio guy in Northern Exposure. Like looking out the front window of the shop on a vacant street, just talking like so there's I like seriously I loved the shit out of that. That was great. The episode we got to do at your house, and then obviously the NetHeads featuring Kevin Smith.
There you go. Oh, that's a good one. That's a, you know,
Yeah.
oddly enough, I wouldn't, I as of this moment, I wouldn't probably put Kevin in the same realm. And I don't know why.
You don't want to drag him down.
That could be it. That seems more logical than not.
Yeah.
Well, no, because that was kind of a unique experience to itself. That wasn't really
Oh, yeah.
a whole NetHeads thing. It was
No.
just kind of this special thing that, you know, after the fact was really a phenomenal inconvenience for you at
Yeah.
Death Ray Comics, but you know, we still got to have a podcast with the guy. So
Totally.
that part was cool. But anyway, I digress. For me, honestly speaking, I think it was the first would be the show where we talked about the Bobcat Blues. That would
Oh,
probably be
yeah,
one.
yeah.
I think, you know, I can't even say a top three because I think really, it's this experience has been something that has been the most unique of anything I think that I've done in relation to any type of broadcasting to date, and
Oh, for
so.
sure.
There is a certain thing that I get out of doing this that I haven't done with anything else. And I know that that is something that's directly related to being able to talk to you when we do this. Because if I sit here and talk to myself, I don't come away quite feeling the same way. So it's hard for me to say that there's any one episode of NetHeads I would put above any other, because every one of them I'm typically having fun with you. So I would almost say every single one of them. The most memorable would probably be actually Talkin' Flash Fast, because that was the first one where, and we had gotten an intro from Kevin Smith, and it was just like, this is, I don't know what life is becoming, but this is both cool and weird at the same time.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And of course, you know, what I want to keep going, yeah, as long as it's fun and as long as we find the right story to tell on a weekly basis, you know, I think it's something that I enjoy doing. You know, it's just a matter of coordinating things when people also have lives, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you've spent your entire workday buried inside of spreadsheets and trying to do complex indexes or VLOOKUPs, and then you're like, okay, well, I'm yeah, come on, let's get together and talk about cool stuff now, or I'm just gonna take a nap on the couch for a little bit. You know, some things just swing one way or the other. So
yes, I agree on so many levels, sir.
Well, plus you also have you know, your other passion project, and so we got to fit in to where it's still fun for you to do this, and it's not taken away from the fun wrestling stuff if it's something that you enjoy doing. So
it is, yeah.
Well, there you go. By the way, did you happen to catch Eddie Murphy hosting Saturday Night Live at all?
I haven't yet.
Okay.
I that's actually probably what I'll go do after this is eat more food and watch that.
Yes, as a matter of fact, Will, I've been waiting for you to shut up for the last 20 minutes. So
No, all I know is there's a return to Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood.
Yes.
Which growing up as a kid, that's like my earliest SNL memory is Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood.
I think it did a very good job of utilizing Eddie Murphy, who I'm sure is just like everybody going to want every callback that we can put in here.
Oh God, I can imagine, yeah.
But they did it. It was actually like, I came away from it and I'm like, 90% of this I loved. But interestingly enough, my favorite sketch that you will watch is one of the few that doesn't involve any of his previous characters, because it was another one of the holiday baking shows, and it takes another
okay.
it takes another left turn the way the last one did as well. And
Okay.
and I think it's the only time they had to bleep Eddie Murphy on the night too, because
yes. Oh,
he slipped at the very end. But that for me was like the best sketch out of them all. So I look forward to hearing your reaction about it on the December 30th, the show that we're not really going to do. Probably going to do, but we're not going to do.
yeah, that we're gonna do. We're not gonna.
Maybe, I don't know. It's just a thing we don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
I received the grocery store list, so
You need to go shopping,
I do need to go shopping. That was 23 minutes ago.
and I need to do FEED, the DOGS. If I say the word, they freak out.
I understand completely.
Yeah.
Around here, the trigger word is dinner, so
It
doesn't
Yep.
matter what time of day it is. It's always dinner to them.
Yep.
'Cause
No, it is. Yep.
just that's what it is. And actually, I know we're trying to wrap up, but since I do like to provide some pup dates.
Updates.
It's been very interesting with these rescue dogs coming into the house. We're now at 1 year and 2 months with Rika, and Yuki has been since September. You do the math. That's like 10 months. But Rika actually does come up to me now and ask for attention on his schedule, but it does happen. So I have become an accepted...
like without a treat or anything.
Yeah. Sometimes he'll just do it. So
That's awesome, dude.
yeah, we finally turned the corner, everybody. I know you've all been waiting on pins and needles for it to happen, as have I. But because it's just when you got a fluffy white dog, you want to pet him. You know,
you get cute aggression. They're so fucking cute. Shake it, shake it.
Oh, not easy.
Oh no,
there.
you don't have. Okay, never mind. I'm. No, my bad.
Ricky the circus boy getting all crazy. Calm down. You gonna make it? You all right there, buddy?
I'm okay. Deep breaths.
All
Just
right.
remember to breathe.
Well, thank you, sir. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and the like to you. I have, I've had a wonderful time, but I believe I've consumed responsibly because I have kept just adding ice cubes to this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're just down to ice and lime and water and the like too.
Yeah. Yep.
Like this is just all useless vitamin C crap now. I need to get out of this room.
I can feel my scurvy fleeing.
Oh no, you can't have that. If you want to keep a scurvy happy. That's what you want to do.
Absolutely.
At least that's what my position told me. I don't know. Anyway, folks, thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it. Until next time, whenever that may be. Tommy set the Wayback Machine at this point. My name's Will.
I'm Trent.
And we'll be back
soon.
I was so happy about like how well everything went and like and all of the audio effects aren't going to the video. So that'll be a fun, nice, confusing thing for everybody, especially when you can't hear who we're talking to. But Merry Christmas, everybody.